Hey there everyone, I'm meteorologist Cassie Nall and this is your 10 Weather Impact Recap for the week. Let's start with a look at some of the top weather stories from around the country. March has definitely come in like a lion for some parts of the country, with severe weather affecting areas from the southern plains to the Great Lakes. Tuesday night was our most recent severe weather event prior to this recording, with multiple tornadoes and huge hail. Reed Binion has an overview.
There it is, right there. This is right here, Griffin Road area.
A massive tornado ripping through the Kankakee, Illinois area Tuesday evening.
Everybody, get in, get downstairs if you're out here. Stay safe. People in their cars are crazy. I'm going downstairs now. Hi, guys.
Part of a widespread outbreak of severe weather tracking across the central U.S. overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. Before that tornado in Kankakee, the same tornadic supercell produced a twister near Pontiac, Illinois. The supercell moved east across towns from central Illinois through northern Indiana.
We have an area that a lot of homes and businesses have been hit. Power lines are down everywhere. Injuries so far have been reported as being minor injuries, but the home damage is pretty significant.
The severe weather also included hail, some of it reportedly more than 5 inches in diameter in Illinois, which could set a new state record. Texas also seeing large hail, some of it reportedly baseball-sized. The Lone Star State also seeing at least one tornado and tens of thousands of power outages. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
This stretch of severe weather began late last week, right when meteorological spring began as we entered the month of March. This is video from damage at Tulsa Tech in Oklahoma, where an EF1 tornado damaged the campus last Friday the 6th. Thankfully, no students were in the building at the time of that storm. Also on Friday the 6th, in Michigan, the earliest EF3 tornado on record in that state tore through Union City. The tornado moved along the edge of a lake, and if you look closely, you can see that the surface of the water is still frozen. The National Weather Service says that wind speeds up to 160 miles per hour completely destroyed homes along the lakefront. Sadly, 3 people died in that storm. And another tornado in Michigan, this one an EF2 with winds up to 130 miles per hour, struck the town of Three Rivers last Friday, devastating the area. In the days that followed, the community has showed up in full force to help their neighbors. Meredith Schimmer shares the story.
While the National Weather Service continues to survey damage, people in Three Rivers are beginning to pick up the pieces.
It's like everything you work so hard for. Gone.
Menards was one of the hardest hit buildings in the city.
I was shocked. My jaw was dropping. I was crazy. And I immediately went into storm recovery mode and helped out everybody at Menards. I made sure everybody was okay. And there was a bunch of cars thrown across the road and stuff.
A section of their storage units also impacted.
My wife came down here and I watched the kids and she's like, it's gone. As you can see, it just lifted up and blew over.
Our life is in here. We literally put everything in here last year and we've lost a lot.
Zent spent a better part of Saturday cleaning up what's left of her belongings at her storage unit. She was driving her school bus full of kids when the tornado warnings went off. She said the students hunkered down in the nearest school, safe and prepared, but she can't say the same for some of the buildings.
Our bus garage is gone. It's brand new. Our employee vehicles are gone. Our band trailers are gone. 2 buses are destroyed.
Meanwhile, Indiana-Michigan power restoration crews are working tirelessly to restore electricity. At one point, more than 5,000 of their customers were without power. While the number has decreased significantly, restoration has been difficult, and the utility company asks for patience and safety these next few days.
Some of our employees, they live and they work in these neighborhoods that have been devastated. So we're neighbors helping our neighbors. We will be out here and we will work as safely and as quickly as possible to restore your power.
From handing out bottled water to snack packs to hauling broken pieces of buildings, times like these are a true testament to human kindness. Organizations like Arc Tree Services cutting down people's trees for free.
There's a lot of people in dire need that just aren't going to get the help they need, and people without insurance aren't going to be able to get their homes taken care of and try and get things dry. So we're trying to give all our effort today and tomorrow through the weekend to be able to give all the assistance we can.
And bigger companies like the local Meijer donating truckloads of supplies to those in need.
This winter was one of the warmest on record in the U.S. Two preliminary data sets showed that the lower 48 experienced its second warmest winter on record. While frigid temperatures and heavy snow were common in the Midwest and eastern states, it was not enough to offset the heat in the West. For example, Denver, Colorado had more 60-degree days during the winter season than Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And speaking of Colorado, the warm weather is impacting more than just people and plants. A beekeeper who also teaches the skill tells us that bee colonies are dying because of all of the warm days this winter. And there's more concern for the bees that they'll be lost in the months ahead. Bill Folsom shares the story from the Centennial State.
Bees foraging among blossoms. Unusual because this is video captured in Colorado Springs when it's still winter and spring is still weeks away.
The bees at this time of year should be in a tight cluster, keeping themselves warm, riding out the winter.
And we want them to go into winter with about the equivalent of about 120 pounds of honey stores, which would be 2 of these big boxes on this hive.
Normally most domesticated honeybees will break cluster and they start flying about 45 degrees.
Leonard and Dolly Rickerman have been raising bees for decades. It's expanded into teaching others how to do it along with a small beekeeping business. This is video of all their beehives. They point out there's too many bees outside. It's the result of Colorado's extra warm winter.
Because they're out flying so much, they're consuming all the resources that are normally in the hive for them. And the big fear is this month and next month, there's a high probability of hives starving out.
All the movement burns energy. Finding more to eat, like on that one blossoming tree, is rare. Instead, most vegetation is still dormant. So they end up eating their stored honey.
It's disconcerting about this winter is people are coming in with their dead hives a lot earlier.
This day, the Rickermans have done what's called a hive autopsy. It's for another beekeeper. Starvation is the likely reason.
They just didn't have enough resources to survive the winter.
Extra warm days are also confusing queen bees. Some are laying eggs months early. If cold days hit or more bees continue to die from lack of food, odds are higher those young bees will be lost.
There's not enough nurse bees there to take care of them. They are going to die, yeah. And they have to be kept warm and fed and things like that. So it's a huge thing.
Beekeepers will be keeping a close eye on their colonies over the next 6 to 8 weeks. What they want to see is dandelions coming out. That is one of the first early food sources for bees.
In Vermont, warmer weather may be welcome after such a long and cold winter, but the change in temperatures also creates new issues as the snow and ice begin to melt. Ice jams act like a dam along a river, causing water to rise rapidly. But it's not just a flooding concern. The weight of the ice is powerful and can also cause damage to infrastructure if it piles up high enough. Officials in Moortown, Vermont are monitoring an ice jam along the Mad River as temperatures continue to warm. Yunier Martinez has the latest from Vermont.
The Mad River in Moortown is making its presence known. Massive sheets of ice, some the size of cars, creating a scene that makes you feel like you're in the Arctic.
It's pretty frightening.
Especially when it's happening right outside your home. Christina Bisbee has lived along the Mad River for 5 years, but she's never seen this.
It's not just the sight, it's the sound. You know, the groaning and the intensity of it.
Just feet away, Moortown Emergency Director Stefan Pratt is keeping watch.
Every 2 hours.
Overnight Monday, the ice jam finally broke free upstream before getting stuck again about a quarter of a mile away. And while water is still running underneath the ice, what happens next is anyone's guess.
There's not a lot you can do because, you know, the water level could rise up and it could wash everything away. Or it could just continue to be where it's at.
Hope we don't have a winter quite this severe again.
Upstream in Waitsfield, the ice there has started to break apart, but emergency crews say the biggest message right now is stay away from the river.
It may look solid, but underneath you don't know what's there. So keep your distance from the river.
Back at Christina's home, she's hoping and praying for the best.
Best case scenario is it just keeps going and doesn't come across the road.
A sure sign that spring is just around the corner, the cherry blossoms beginning to bloom in the Tidal Basin in Washington, D.C. The cherry blossoms attract millions of visitors each year. And with snow still piled up, residents are counting down to warmer days. Megan McGrath has more from our nation's capital.
The signs of winter are still all around, including this huge pile of now dirty snow in Arlington. It still hasn't completely melted following that big snow and ice storm at the end of January. But Mother Nature is going to lend a hand with some warmer weather coming our way. People we spoke to, they say they are ready for the end of winter and the start of spring.
I'm so over it. I need a change. I need warm weather. I'm so excited.
Think it's coming?
It better be. It better be.
I am so ready for spring. I'm so glad winter's over. The only thing that would be even more pleasant is to get rid of this mountain of snow right here.
I'm ready to have some warmth, come out, enjoy the nice days again.
Do you think it's coming soon?
I mean, it must. If it's not, then I don't know what we're in for.
Now that we are in March, all eyes are on the tidal basin. Right now, the cherry trees are not doing a whole lot, but if you look really closely, you can see that things are going to change soon. There are tight buds forming on the branches, a sign of things to come. Now, tomorrow, the National Park Service is going to give their prediction about the peak bloom period for the cherry blossoms, and winter-weary bloom watchers hope it comes sooner rather than later.
And as promised, the National Park Service has released its projection. Washington cherry trees are expected to be in peak bloom from March 29th to April 1st. It's a very short window. The NPS wants to remind everybody that this projection could change depending on the weather, saying that blossoms usually stay on the trees for 7 to 10 days. The 3,000 cherry trees were a gift from Japan in 1912. The National Park Service in Death Valley, California says that the park is having its best bloom year since 2016. I was so distracted by the color here on the screen. The perfect recipe of rain in the fall and consistent winter moisture has created the most colorful display of flowers in Death Valley in a decade. The NPS categorizes this season as above average bloom year, but cautions that any sudden changes to the weather pattern could bring a quick end to the floral season. The lower elevations are near to past peak, but higher elevations are expected to have blooms from April through June, weather permitting. And check this out. The National Phenology Network tracks the progress of first leaf and first bloom each spring season. The areas shaded in red indicate where leaf out began ahead of schedule, and blue indicates where the plants may be running a bit behind average. The red that you see down near the Gulf Coast happened after our very early January warm spell. But the blue shows where the progress kind of slowed down and became delayed due to late January and early February cold weather. In East Tennessee, we're running near to slightly ahead of average, mainly thanks to the warm temperatures so far in the month of March. And we have a roller coaster of temperatures coming up for you over the next several days. Check out the March Madness, not basketball, but weather-wise. Going from a high near 80 degrees today on Wednesday to highs in the 50s with gusty winds on Thursday. We'll get to rebound slightly as we go throughout the weekend, and then a very strong cold front comes through Sunday night into the day on Monday. We could have snow flurries in parts of East Tennessee as we start off the day on Monday. Highs stay in the 40s for early next week, and lows could be in the 20s for the morning of our St. Patrick's Day. So get ready for quite a seesaw of temperatures over the next 7 days. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, you can get the latest forecast and watch our 24/7 live radar anytime with the WBIR Plus app. You can download the app for free and watch on your TV.